Yo. I feel like some kind of 80s pop star today with my crazy blue eyeliner and like purple lips, bit of my head shaved and this like kind of muscle tank vibe going on. Going for the retro. Hey Eva, nice to see you, love. Just gonna paste this in the comments. Let's just see if anyone joins me live before I get stuck into the meat. If you're watching this on YouTube or elsewhere, then feel free to skip ahead a few seconds. Hey love, nice to have you live. I don't really live stream at this time very much. It's quite unusual for me to do live streams in the evening, which is when this is, well, in the evening in the UK anyway, because I'm usually at the gym, usually punching and kicking the things at this time. But on a Monday, I train with my one-to-one trainer in the morning. So, I mean, you know, kickstart the week as you mean to go on. Am I right? What are we talking about today? So today we're talking about how other people see you versus how you see yourself. And the thing to really remember here is that a lot of the time, the filter or the lens through which you see yourself is you're seeing yourself through the years and years of trauma, of memories, of failures or successes, of programming that have happened to you, right? So you're always going to be seeing yourself in a way that is very specific and very jaded to some extent. So this morning, this is my, you know me, I love a good story. Sit down, it's story time with Auntie Noel. So this morning, when I was training with my trainer, my body didn't feel quite right. I felt a bit like wheezy, mainly because yesterday I ate some cake and I ate some like, it had coconut sugar in, and I haven't really eaten sugar for months. So to have that kind of sugar in something, and it was gluten-free banana bread, right? So it wasn't like the worst thing in the fucking world, but still, I've been eating so clean for the last few months that when I put that in my body, I could really feel the impact that it had on me physically. So when I went to the gym today, I was like, fuck, I can really feel this. I don't feel 100%, don't feel like I can give it everything. So that got into my head. So I started training and, everything was going okay, but I just didn't feel like I was moving as fast as I know I could, or hitting as hard as I could, or, recovering as quickly in the rest as I could. And I could just feel that I wasn't functioning as best I could had I not eaten that cake yesterday. And so because of that, I was getting up in my head about it, and I kept saying to my trainer, like, fuck, this is such, like, fucking abortion of a session. Like, this is like, I hope I'm not wasting your time. And he was just like, I don't know what you think is happening here, but like, it's fine, it's great. I don't know why you're so worried. He was like, I don't see a problem. And I just said to him, yeah, at this point, it's just me against my mind at this point, So we trained for an hour, and of that, I would say probably the last 15 minutes, 20 minutes, maybe, probably just 15, I gave myself a bit of a break, and I was like, look, Georgina, regardless of the stories that you're telling yourself in your head, you're doing the best you can at this given moment, and you're here. And my trainer was, saying like, it's great. I don't know what you're talking about. You're doing really well. So anyway, the point of the story is, the moral of the story is, children, there is always a moral to the story, I promise, is that in my mind, hey Stephanie, in my mind, I was not just seeing myself in purity. I wasn't seeing myself as I was actually training. I wasn't able to see the truth of the situation from an outsider's perspective. I could only see the truth through my filter of myself. And the narrative that I had attached my performance and my truth to was a narrative of I'm a failure because I ate shit yesterday and I always do this, stuff like that. And I could feel that. It was so interesting. Thank you, Stephanie. And it was so interesting to me how that subconscious narrative that I wasn't consciously aware of. I knew something was going on, but when I kind of took myself out of it, I was like, oh yeah, I've made my judgment on myself and my performance today based on a past story of myself. So a little bit like what I was talking about yesterday. This is just like the layer beneath. So it was really interesting to me when my trainer Pedro was just like, you're doing great. I don't see what, he was like, stop saying that, Gina. He calls me Gina, like, around the head with a pad, like, dish. It's like, stop saying that, Gina. He was like, I don't know, you're getting in your own head, like, you're fine, everything, you're doing great. I don't know why you keep saying that. And I was like, oh. And just to have somebody else shine their perspective on the situation through their lens, through what they were seeing. So what my trainer was seeing and experiencing of my session today was completely different to what I was experiencing, purely because I had a different narrative, a different story attached to today in my mind. So I just find it so fast. Like it was almost like we were in two different training sessions, because of what he was saying to me versus what I felt was the truth. It really wasn't marrying up. I thought he's just being nice, and then at one point I was like, oh, he's actually not just being nice, like he really means it. He really means I'm doing a good job, because he doesn't bullshit me. And that's why I fucking love him, because he doesn't bullshit me. He will tell me when I'm shit. He'll tell me when I'm shit, and that's why I love him. And so I can trust him to tell me the truth of the situation, because he is also invested in my growth. He's invested in me getting better. He's invested in me being, fitter, healthier, but also stronger. And he's also invested in me becoming a better fighter, And it's so powerful when you have someone on your team. And I know that this is what I do for my clients, so it's just kind of clicking for me as I'm processing with you guys. It's so powerful to have somebody outside of yourself who is genuinely invested in your journey with you and wants the best for you and knows how fucking badass you are and doesn't let you bullshit yourself. And that's effectively what Pedro does for me in training, and it's what I do for my clients in all areas of my business. I'm really not interested in keeping you stuck in a bullshit story. You can do that on your own time. You can tell yourself how shit you are and doubt yourself on your own time. When you come and work with me, I'm purely interested in helping you activate and embody the divine being that you are, the divine strand of golden light and consciousness that you are on this planet. That's what I see when I look at you. That's who I'm speaking to when I'm doing any of my work with you, whether it's on a live stream or whether it's like in my tapping circle or one-to-one or in the business coven. Like whenever I'm working with you, I'm not speaking to the stories and the narrative that you allow to play out in your own mind about why you can't do the thing or who told you that you can't or why it has to be hard. I'm just seeing this higher self that's kind of standing behind. I'm talking to that bitch. Like I'm not talking to the human. You know what I mean? So it's so fascinating to me to have that reflected back to me this morning, because it really allowed me to step beyond the story that was happening in my mind. And that's why I have a one-to-one coach. Like I could just go to group class. They have group classes pretty much every single day of the week. And apart from Thursdays and Saturdays, but every other day there are group classes, 2 a day often, that I could go to at this gym. And I do like 3 times a week or 4 times a week sometimes, but I always love and relish that time with my one-to-one trainer, because I get that extra piece of what I need on a personal level, on an individual level. And I really thrive in that environment. I thrive in a group environment because it feeds me energetically. It feels really good to train with a group. But when I train one-to-one with somebody, much like, it's like the levels of my coaching, right? It's like some people really thrive in a group environment. Other people want a bit of group work, but they also want some access to me one-to-one, hence the business coven. And then other people just want me one-to-one, which is like when my highest level VIP clients who work with me for 3 months. Like those clients, they just want me one-to-one. They're not interested in a group. They know that the magic for them is working with me at that highest level. So it's really fun for me to be able to offer lots of different levels to work with me, because I understand that there's no one way that works for everybody. And often my favorite are like the combinations, you know, like the business coven, where you get to have a group and we do group calls, but you can also access me one-to-one anytime through our Telegram chat and whatnot. So yeah, it's kind of interesting to me to have myself reflected back to me through the eyes of my trainer today. And you know, my mentor, my business and spiritual mentor, will do that for me as well. And I just think it's such a valuable resource, because even, and here's the difference, like I know it's great to have your friends and your family and your partner and your dog and whatever who see you in, but when someone is in that kind of relationship with you, I think you've got to have really fucking special friends and partners and families and dogs to see you in that light all the time. The difference when you are investing financially and energetically in a coach or a mentor in any area of your life, whatever area you're looking to upgrade, right? Whether it's a personal trainer, a business mentor, a spiritual mentor, whatever it is you're wanting to up level, the difference of having someone that you've actually invested in financially is that they are literally on your team. Like you have employed them. They are on your team. They are working for you. So when you employ me and you sign up with me as your mentor, like I'm on your fucking team. I'm on your panel of experts. I'm in your corner, you know, like you go into the ring and I'm in the fucking corner, like cheering you on and shouting like, you know, punch him in the face or whatever it is you need to hear at that time. And it's just invaluable. And I think I will always have mentors and coaches in the areas that are important to me, that I, you know, the areas where I want to grow and excel, because you can always do it on your own. Of course you can. I could do it on my own if I really wanted to, but can I do it as well on my own? Can I do it as fast on my own? Can I do it in a way that feels as good on my own? No, otherwise I would be doing it on my own, right? So if you know that you want me in your corner in some way, even if you're not sure what that is, like I've said before on this live stream and many times before, I have various offerings for people, right? The one that I've put in the comments underneath this live stream, you feel that from me all the time though. Yeah, it's interesting. A lot of people who have either worked with me, been in any of my containers, regardless of whether they've worked with me one-to-one, no matter what level they've invested in me, like a lot of people will feed that back to me, like, yeah, but I always feel like you're on my team. I've always got Noli like in my ear. I was thinking about getting some of those wristbands, you know, with like WWND, what would Noli do? Because the amount of people that say to me, like, I just think to myself, what would Noli do? Like, I love that. But yeah, if you know that I'm someone that you want on your team and you want me waving my pom-poms at you, then do reach out, you know, get in touch, because I love this shit. This is what I live for, you know, to have people who invest in these containers where, and the difference, right, between like someone who just asked me questions or like a friend, it's different. When someone's invested in my services, by investing in me, they're giving me permission to coach them, you know, to tell them what I see. And that's really the magic. It's like when you, like I said before, you know, when you can see yourself through my eyes, when you can see what I see when I look at you as this divine being, this fragment of consciousness that's walking around in a beautiful skin suit, that's really what you're paying for. You're paying for someone who's intuitive as fuck and loving and, you know, not gonna fucking pull any punches either. You're paying for all of that. You're paying for somebody to hold you accountable, but also to support you through the shit that comes up. Because, yeah, I preach the life of ease, but that's only because I can't do life any other way. I tried being employed and it didn't fucking work out. Let's put it that way. Like, I actually can't believe that I stayed in the same job for nearly, like, for 9.5 years. I was at that art centre for nearly 10 fucking years. Can you even imagine me staying still that long? And yeah, it's quite bananas to me, actually, that I stayed in a job for that long. And of course, the interesting thing being, I'm not sure that a lot of people actually know that I used to work for an arts centre. I used to work for an arts charity, so I obviously have that kind of artist vibe. I work with a lot of artists now, a lot of creatives, and yeah, so I used to act and sing and work for an art centre, and yeah, so you know, I've worked in a charity, which is another reason why I do a lot of money mindset work with people, because I remember working in a charity, and an arts charity, you know, like, it's not a sexy charity. People don't, when you're donating to charity, the arts charities, unless it's something you're like really invested in and it's part of like your passion and what you love, or you know, benefit from the arts in some way on a daily basis, it's usually not the first thing at the top of people's list when they're looking to donate. So yeah, there was a lot of interesting financial mindset and energetics that are at play in a charity, let alone an arts charity. So I got to kind of bathe in that for 9.5 years. But you know, I've come out of it and I'm doing all right now. Doing all right for myself now, if I do say so myself. So anyone got any questions? Anything that you want to share? But yeah, just don't forget that the power of seeing yourself through somebody else's eyes. And I've always been really fucking gifted at, I was thinking this today, I've always been really gifted at being able to see things a different way. And that was highly irritating for a lot of the people that I used to work with in my 9-to-5s when I had them back in the day. Because they'd all be like really set in their ways about the way things that had to be done, and I'd be like, yeah, but there's a really easy way. We could just do it like this. And some people would be like, oh yeah, that's great. And then all the kind of like, they're really like stick in the mud, gotta do the ABC, tick the boxes, health and safety, where's my hard hat, people would just fucking hate it. Who's laughing now, bitch? Amazing. Nothing at all? Cool, I'll leave you to it. Well, thanks for listening to me whiffle on this evening. I trust you took what you needed. I would love to know what you felt you received from hearing the tales of the girly Noel this evening. And yeah, so at the moment, the best ways to come work with me are either in the Business Coven or in the Lunar Tapping Circle. And mid-October, I will be relaunching the Money Mindset Reset. So you can actually go to my website, georginaknoll.com. And if you look in the menu, you'll find the Money Mindset Reset, and all you need to do is just get yourself on the waiting list, and then you'll be the first people who are notified when it goes on sale at the beginning of October. That is a must for anyone who has got any shit around money, as in every human on the planet. That is the program you really want to get your ass into, because it's 30 days intensive mindset and energy work. We do live clearing sessions, we do live EFT sessions, and you get 30 days of other content like audios from me, journal prompts from me. Yeah, like 30 days of reflections even on how, yes, there are payment plans. Yep, 3 and 6 month payment plans. So it's really fucking affordable because it's a money mindset program, right? So kind of figured that if people wanting to sign up for a money mindset program, they might have some shit around money. So it's good to have multiple payment plans. You will need PayPal though, so get your ass sorted on PayPal, Stephanie. Get your ass sorted, missus. So yeah, but apart from that, it is just such a powerful program. And bizarre, I mean, this isn't why I created it, but bizarrely, it's one of the programs that people do with me, and then they end up investing in, oh, hey, Hermie. They end up investing, in other things that I do as a result of doing the money mindset program. It's just a standalone program, but very often people will then end up in the business coven, or they'll come do the spiral with me, or they'll end up in my one-to-one mentoring. So it's obviously fucking potent because the amount of people who go through that program and then come back and do more work with me is huge. People just I remember last time we did it, I think it was in June this year, and last time we did it, one lady kept posting and they're like, oh, I've just found a $5 in the dryer, and I've just found some money here, and oh, I forgot I put this money here. People get, totally agree, the people who mirror me back, my poo, are gold. Yes! One of the ladies, actually, now I can't remember, is she doing the spiral with me, or is it Business Coven? I can't remember. Oh, yes, I can, actually, yeah. One of the ladies I'm working with at the moment, anyway, at one of my kind of higher level clients, she actually said to me at the weekend, in terms of like mirroring back the poo, she was just like, yeah, when I first saw you, in fact, she came through the money mindset program, so there you go. And she was like, yeah, when I first saw your stuff, I was like, oh no, not for me. She is not for me. Like, she's a lot not for me. And then she signed up because she saw her do EFT, so she was like, oh, maybe I'll give her a go. She came and did the money mindset program, got such amazing results that she's ended up working with me like in one of my highest level programs. So it's just funny to me how that happens when people realize that what I'm mirroring back to them just by existing, if I piss you off or irritate you or whatever, then it's like, it's a gift, right? If you know how to consciously use, what is that? You just found 20 euros. I love it. Of course you did. What can I say? You're in the vortex, baby. But yeah, it's quite interesting to me. Like, I always use that if someone irritates me or like they're really triggering to me. It's such a great opportunity to use that mirror and be like, what am I not owning about myself that this person is comfortably owning and reflecting back to me? So yeah, it's funny because I don't even think of myself as particularly triggering these days. I just show up and do my little thing. And then, yeah, somehow me being me just really pisses some people off. So I'm here for it. It's great. And there's so many of them then come and work with me that I'm like, you know what? It's totally cool. And the more, this is one of my big messages, right? The more of ourselves we allow to shine out in the world, the more we're going to piss people off probably, but also the more we're going to draw our people to us. And one of the things that I know for sure about my clients and the ones who get the best results working from me are the ones who really take all my clients takes full self-responsibility by the end of us working together, whether they do at the beginning or not. But I certainly tend to attract people who understand the power of the mirror and shadow work, and the power of when someone triggers you in any way, whether it's good or bad, there is something in that for you as an individual, and it is such a gift. Even if it's annoying and even if you want to punch them in the tits, it's like there's something there for you. And it can happen with our closest friends, like it doesn't necessarily have to be some crazy curly bird on the internet that's triggering you. It could be anybody. It could be your neighbor, it could be like the person at the corner shop, it could be the bus driver. It doesn't have to, and it literally could be like, you know, family members are a fucking goldmine for triggers, am I right? And personal relationships, like romantic relationships, holy mother, they are a gold mine when it comes to really doing that amazing inner work on ourselves that gets us to the next level, because those people who are around us all the time and piss us off sometimes, they are absolute gold mines when it comes to our own personal transformation, as long as we take full self-responsibility and use the mirror and do that internal reflective work on ourselves. Anyway, thank you guys. It's been lovely talking to you, and go forth and slay the rest of the day and just have a wicked rest of the week. Although I'm feeling like it's a live streaming kind of week, so I'm sure I'll probably see you again soon. Bye.